Hi, my name is Godwin Boyce, and in this video I want to talk about my weight loss journey and how I was able to go from this to this in 5 months. About myself. I've been married for 17 years to my beautiful wife. We got 4 beautiful kids. My wife has always been very supportive of me. I worked as a machine operator for 10 years at a company, and a few years ago my wife, she's passionate about teaching, so she wanted to go back to school, and she decided to go back to school. So upon supporting her in doing that, life was going good. Halfway through that journey, what we never planned on was having our 4th kid. At the time we only had 3 kids, and then we wind up having 4, as I mentioned earlier. So what happened is we had a few options. She either had to drop out of school or I had to find an alternative, and she was not going to drop out of school. She's going to continue on. She's going to take 2 weeks off after having the baby and return to school. I'm going to take the parental leave. I'm going to take care of the baby at the time, which you get 52% of your paycheck. So that can keep us floating for a little bit. But after trying to do that, we realized it was going to be more difficult than that. So I started to drive Uber as a part-time thing, just to make some extra cash while she's going to school. The time that she's not at school, I'm driving. The time she's at home, vice versa. You get it. And what happened within that period of time is I grew extremely overweight. I was driving like 16 hours a day. I was driving like 60 hours a week just to make things work. And why did I do that? Because I quit my job. I eventually didn't go back to work. So I started driving Uber full-time because it worked more. We couldn't get babysitters. We couldn't get daycare. It was just impossible. And we didn't want our baby to be in the care of someone so young. So I quit my job, like I said, and I went to school full-time, and she went to school full-time, and we made the schedule work. When she was home, I was driving. When I was home, she's at school. So it basically worked. But what that caused, like I mentioned before, is that I became overweight. I started eating at some crazy times, and before you know it, I became very overweight. So life continues to go by fast. I keep doing what I do, and then the pandemic hit. Everyone has to be at home. So I decided I'm gonna do something about this. And growing up, I was pretty athletic. I ran track, I played basketball. So I resorted back to what I knew. And I Googled how to lose weight. What's an effective way to lose weight? And I came across, fasting and the keto diet. So I combined the two. I didn't eat all day. I worked out as much as I can. Then I would eat at night. And I lost weight. It was working. I lost maybe about 70 pounds doing this. Then I noticed no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't lose that stubborn belly fat. And I looked pretty much like this. I lost the weight, but I'm not getting the initial fat off that I really wanted off. So I got a little bit frustrated after a while. As you can see, I was fasting for a long period of time. Some days I would fast for a week. I'd do 3 days and 5 days, and I was just keep going at it, and I was determined. I was hungry. I would go to bed, my wife would say, "Are you hungry?" I'm like, no, I'm not hungry, I'm fine. Because I'm so stubborn that I really want to lose this fat, that I was doing whatever it takes. And I truly believe that, being in ketosis and not spiking your insulin and, not eating carbs was the way to go. And then when I hit around December of last year, I just couldn't take it anymore. I just started eating. I did whatever it takes, and the weight came back on. And then I started fasting again in January, and I noticed it became harder that time around. I was like, I can't do this no more. So I decided I'm gonna try to build muscle. I'm like, you know what? Forget about losing weight. I've lost as much. Let me try to build some muscle, and maybe that will help with me losing some more weight. So I went back to YouTube and I started Googling how to lose weight and stuff like that. And I came across this video, the Greg Doucette video. And in this video, he was talking about why he doesn't fast and why he doesn't do the keto diet and so forth. And I got intrigued and I started looking at more of his videos. And the more I look at his videos, I'm like, look at this guy. He's big, he's strong, he has muscle. And, you know, maybe he's been doing this for years, but maybe what he's saying makes sense. So like I said, I started to look at more of his videos. I looked at hours and hours. I would stay up late at night and I'm looking at the videos and I'm Googling what he's saying and I'm researching it and I'm going through all the steps and I'm like, this makes sense. So what's the first thing that came to my mind? After all of this research, I decided I gotta change my relationship with food.
Relationships are with people, they're not with food. I don't court a banana.
Okay, so really what I did after watching all of his videos and doing my research and so forth is I had to figure out how many calories I need to, you know, maintain, and then as he recommended, go like 500 below. So I went to Google, I Googled calorie counter, calorie calculator or something like that. And then I started to take the steps. I bought a scale because I initially started just, you know, trying to track my calories and I was guesstimating, and I guess I was getting it wrong because in the beginning I started to put on weight again. I'm like, this might not be working, but then I went back and I got a scale and I started accurately tracking how many calories I eat per day. And I realized the reason why I wasn't losing this stubborn fat is because I wasn't maximizing muscle protein synthesis. And eating 4 to 5 meals a day is the way to maximize muscle protein synthesis. So I started to do that, and consistently I noticed I started to get better and stronger, and I had a lot of energy because previously when I was fasting and keto, it would be days that I couldn't get up the step. There's days that I couldn't do the things that I needed to do, but I thought, you know, that's the initial way of, you know, losing weight. But never did I know there was a better way. So this is the way that I started to do it. And after a few months, I noticed consistent weight loss keep coming off every single week, like 2 pounds a week, 1 pound a week. And I was in no rush. I was so happy to actually see the scale go down that I was totally fine with that. And after about 2 months, my wife started to look at me and she was going through the same thing because she started to put down weight, as you can see in this video. So she started to say, you know what, this is working, maybe I should try it too. So we both went through the journey of, you know, eating 4 to 5 meals a day, maximizing muscle protein synthesis. Yes, we did also buy the friggin' cookbook and we used some of the recipes. Her favorite recipe, I would say, is the French toast. My favorite recipe would be the anabolic popcorn. Got my nutrition in order, the next thing I needed to figure out is to find my favorite HIIT workout.
This is my favorite. Hit. This is my favorite. Hit.
Okay, seriously, like I said, I wanted to start building muscle. So what I did, because of all the gyms were closed because of the pandemic, I started to buy some equipment. So I slowly bought some dumbbells, I bought a bike, I bought a treadmill. So everything that I can basically get at the time, I slowly started implementing it. And I started to work the same muscle 2 to 3 times a week, consistently, progressively overloading in the beginning as much as I can. And I keep doing that over and over. As much as I recover, I kept doing the same thing. And that's how I started to build muscle. So the routine I was basically following, I was doing chest, biceps, triceps. And then the next day I would do shoulders, back, and legs. And then I would repeat that every other day until as much as I can recover, and I kept doing that. But I had this energy that I didn't have when I was fasting because now I was eating. Despite I'm eating in a calorie deficit, I'm eating now. So because of that, I have this extra energy and I can push the weights, and I still feel so energized because I know I'm eating right after I've done my workout or whenever I'm hungry. And that was amazing. It was amazing to have that feeling, to see that, you know, I can build muscle. Because this was amazing to me. I went from a guy who was what they call skinny fat or just couldn't lose that stubborn belly fat to now starting to build muscle. And it was amazing, you know, when I started to post on my Instagram and so forth, people would tell me, oh, this is amazing, this is magic, what are you doing exactly? And I practically was telling them the same thing over and over. I was just eating in a calorie deficit. I was tracking how many calories I was eating. I was measuring my food. I was progressively overloading in my weights. I was working the same muscle 2 to 3 times a week. And that's basically how I got from where I was to where I am now. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be posting more videos about what I eat in a day, some of my workout routines that I do. So please like, subscribe, hit that notification button, share as much as you can, because there's a lot of people out there like myself, and if you're stubborn and you think there's only one way, there's another way. And I think, you know, going this way had been much better than fasting, or whatever works for you, you can do. But I just wanted to share my story and how, you know, eating from Greg Doucette's cookbook and following his forever diet and some of the protocols that I've learned from him has changed my life and transformed my body. So please share if you enjoyed this video. I will be doing maybe a Greg Doucette cookbook review on basically eating all day from his cookbook. I just want to mention this. I have never met Greg Doucette. I've never spoken to him. I just basically, I like his content. I comment on some of his content, and that's basically it. I've never spoken to him. We've never met, and so forth. I would love to meet him one day. That would be really nice to meet him one day. But I've never met him, and I just felt that, you know, he's been such an impact on my life and, you know, my health and going forward, that I felt the need to make this video. So once again, if you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button, share the video, and I'd really appreciate that. Thank you. See you in the next one.